Good morning, everybody. It's time for morning manna. And this morning, got a word for you on this morning. It's all about what do you do in the face of offense? What do you do when you face offense? That's what we're going to talk about this morning. And I certainly got a word for you on this morning. And just want to check how was worship on for you this past Sunday? Where did you go? What did the man or woman of God preach? And did it minister to you? Let me say that again. Where did you go? What did a man or woman of God preach? And did it minister to you? I'm going to greet some folk here in a moment, but I just wanted to mention that this morning it's about offense. Offense. How about that? What do you do when you are offended? What do you do when you are offended? That's what we're going to talk about on this morning. But before I do that, I want to greet some folk on this morning. What a wonderful morning it is. Good morning, Gerald. How are you on this morning? How are you, Brother Joe? Deacon Joe, how are you on this morning? Good morning, Brenda. How are you on this morning? Brother Nesbitt, how are you? Laura, how are you? Angela, how are you? Welcome back. You must be off today. Ben, I know you got that whole work schedule thing going on, but I know you still tap into the manna. Good morning, Elder Jan. How are you? Dawn, how are you? Verena, how are you? Lenore, how are you on this morning? Lydia, how are you on this morning? Elder Mobley, how are you on this morning? Minister Sent, how are you? Jacqueline, how are you on this morning? What a great morning it is. Diane, how are you? Thank you for inviting people to church. Now, the person I forget, I remember her daughter's name, Dream Love. What a name. What a name. But thank you for just inviting her to church. I hope she connects. You keep on her to come and connect and be a life changer, and her and all the children as well. Good morning, Pamela. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Pastor Richard. How are you doing on this morning? This morning we're talking about Ella offense. What do you do in the face of offense? What do you do in the face of offense? Good morning, Vaughn. How are you? Dawn, how are you? Jewel, how are you on this morning? Liz, oh my goodness. Be glad when you get that other wheel straight so you can be walking and planting on that on the altar when the Lord so moves. Be glad when that gets well. I don't know what happened. That's right. She said she hit your toe. Oh, all right. Well, what can we say? We're praying for you so it'll get well. Take that boot off. Good morning, Ari. How are you? LaFon, how are you on this morning? So great morning that it is. We got things going on this morning. Got a word for you on this morning. You already know. You already know what the Lord is going to say. Is talking about offense is one of the biggest deals that we have to deal with. When I am offended, when someone hurts my feelings, what do I do? So, Mara, how are you? Brother Latsing, how are you doing? Lydia, how are you? Let me get right into the word on this morning. The text to talk to take away 5 minutes or less. You already know what we're going to say. Good morning, Adrian. One last one here. Uh, Here it is. The text is Nehemiah 4 1 and 2. Nehemiah 4 1 and 2. When Sanballat heard that we were rebuilding the wall, he became angry and was greatly incensed. Now, watch what happens here. He ridiculed the Jews in the presence of his associates. And this is what he said, those feeble Jews. Now, here's the interesting thing here. Let me give you the context of the text. The deal is these are really cousins. The people that are rising up against them to stop them from rebuilding the wall are really related to them because the Jews they are returning from captivity. Darius has let them out to go back and to rebuild the walls that were torn down. The Jews that remain now have intermarried, and there is a great deal of consternation. There's a great deal of self-hatred that is going on within this community. So when the Jews come back out of captivity and say, we want to rebuild the walls, Their own cousins rise up and offends them. What do you do in the face of offense? What do you do in the face of offense? One, you stay focused. You stay focused. When someone comes and insults you, comes and insults what the Lord is operating through you, you have to stay focused because in 52 days, they finish that wall. There's always going to be someone that is going to come and try to hinder you, stop you, um, speak negatively, and throw shade on the work that God is doing through you, or anything for that matter. Stay focused. The second thing is tell God about it. Tell God about it. In verse 4, that's what they reached out. They said, "Hear us, God. Hear us, our God, for we are despised. Hear us. We are oppressed. Hear us, God, because we are in a world that is not accepting what we are doing." Jesus said it well. They hate me, they're going to hate you. So don't even try it. So stay focused. Then remember, tell God about it. And here's the third thing, remember that God's got your back. In verse 4, what did they say? Turn their insults in back on them. God turned their insults back on them. So whatever you're dealing with this morning, what you're going through, we're starting out this week, know that people are going to come for you. How are you going to respond in the face of offense? Stay focused. Stay trying to hear what God is saying to you and understand that He has you. What's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is this: face down offense by turning your face to God. Face down offense by turning your face to God. The Lord be with you today. May His face shine upon you and give you peace. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. God bless you. Bye now.